Hey guys, welcome to Woodzman'S Dual Sport Adventure and Survival. Today I just wanted to show everybody, people's asking about different things I have on my bike, so I thought I'll just do a video to kind of show everything I can think of that I have put on there. And it's actually be like a 15,000 mile review because that's how many miles I got. So, okay, first off, let's start with the DRC stuff. DRC and Zeta. This is the DRC tail light with the holder for the license plate. This makes it sweet, takes care of the big old flap that comes down here. Now, this part here I made myself. I cut this out of some plastic. These are the DRC turn signal flashers, the small ones. Okay, up here I have the DRC hoses, which are a whole lot heavier than stock, and it's actually this spot a buddy of mine was riding, and he had the stock hose, which are flimsy compared to these. DRC are heavy duty, and he rammed a stick right through there, poked a hole in the hose. I actually believe these hoses wouldn't have happened. They're heavy enough it wouldn't have happened. I also have the Zeta oil plug here, oil filler plug. Makes it nice. The plastic one, I've heard of stories of them breaking off of this, and here ain't gonna break off, and you just take a socket, take it right off. So that works a lot better for a plug. It does have a tie hole here. If you're doing extreme stuff, I guess you could put a tie wire on it and tie it up here to keep from losing it. Also, on my rear brake reservoir, I have the Zeta cap. Looks cool. It's aluminum. And then up here, we have the Zeta and brake lever. This is the brake lever here. Right here we have the Zeta hand guards. These are the aluminum guards with the Zeta hand guards with the turn signal built in, which are cool. So we actually eliminate the factory turn signals here and got these hooked up. They work real nice and bright. Okay, over here, same thing, Zeta hand guards, the Zeta clutch lever, which works awesome. It's the shorty levers too, so if you like me, you ride with 2 fingers on each side, so that works pretty nice. Over here, we have the top hoses DRC also, and then we got the Zeta plugs right here, replacing the factory ones. Because the flathead ones are so hard to get out, these with the Allen wrench, a whole lot nicer to get out of there. Okay, next we have a Corbin Seat. Corbin Seat's really nice. It's so much wider than the stock. It's a good feel, real nice, comfortable seat. I've liked it. I've had it on here since I've had the bike, and it has performed super. I really like the look of the seat, the profile of the seat, the wide, more comfort than the stock. Okay, right here I have the double take mirrors, which are super nice. They one thing I like about the double take mirrors is I can fold these in when I'm riding off-road in the brush. Fold them back out when I get to the highway, so they ain't hitting the mirrors, knocking them around, breaking them off. These mirrors are extremely tough mirrors, and they are the ram mount, so they're adjustable. You can take these things. And one thing I do like about them is I can adjust them out wider because I'm a wide guy in the shoulders. So this will adjust out where I can see past my shoulders a lot better than the stock. Also, we have the brake reservoir up here for the front. We have a Zeta cover on here. Right here's this is a ram mount that I can mount different things on. I have an X grip that I put on here when I want to carry my cell phone, use it as GPS or whatever. So that's pretty handy. Right here is one of the greatest things I've got. IMS fuel tank, 3.1 gallon. That extra gallon of gas is so nice, guys. The fuel gauge still works in it. It's just, I can't say no much about it. It's just so good. The gas cap, instead of having the lock gas cap, is the plastic style like a motocross bike, and it works great. I like not having to mess with the key myself. when I take the cap off, I just let it hang on the hose, put my gas in, stick it back on. It's a whole lot handier. The tank actually looks good. Looks good on the bike. Okay, right here I have the DID Gold X-Ring chain, the VX250. This thing is way better than the stock. It is so much stronger than the stock. It goes a whole lot longer without getting all stiff. I keep it lubed good, and I've had this thing on for about 11,000 miles, something like that, and the chain is still like new. It's just super tough chain. And right here I have the Zeta little blocks for the rear axle, and the marks on it are a lot nicer to read on this. You can see here, a whole lot nicer to read the marks than the factory. I do like that part. This sprocket here is a Sunstar. I really like the Sunstar sprockets. I've had good luck with them, and I always run steel sprocket because I think that they last longer. So Sunstar makes good sprockets. Front sprocket still factory. Over here is my aluminum. Now this is just a cheap shift lever aluminum, but it is foldable so it don't, you know, bend when you lay it over. These are the DRC Zeta foot pegs right here. These things are super nice because they have a lot more grip than the factory, and they're wider. They're bigger pegs, so a lot bigger footprint when you sit on them to hold you. So I really like the foot pegs. Up here I have the Flatland Racing skid plate. This is one of the #1 mods you can do, guys, if you're gonna ride off-road, is put on a good Flatland Racing skid plate. I wouldn't go buy no junk. These things are extremely heavy duty. This is, to me, it's the best looking skid plate on the market. It has these parts that come out here to block your engine on both sides. I'll show you on the other side here. It also comes out like this, so it blocks your water pump, so when trees hit, it deflects away from your water pump, and makes a huge difference there. Okay, right here I have the Flatland Racing radiator guard. Extremely good idea, because that plastic stuff will not stop the sticks if you're going off-road and you get in the brush. This thing is heavy duty. It also braces your radiator if for falling over. It braces it because this has braces going back. Now I did have to modify this radiator guard to work with the IMS fuel tank. It was an easy fix, but I did show the guys at Flatland Racing so they could you know, if they wanted to make a model to fit the IMS tank, because they are super good people over there. You want to go check them out. Flatland Racing for your guard, man. They make a good radiator guard. They make an extremely good skid plate. All right, also we have new, I've had these on a little while now. Actually doing my torture test video series for these tires. And these tires are the most amazing tires I've ever run on a dual sport in my life. These are the Tractionator DesertHTS. And man, they're made by Motos, and I'm telling you, these things are amazing. They grip like crazy. They do so good in the mud, the gravel, the creek beds, rocks, logs. I've had them out in Oklahoma in the sand, hard pack, gravel roads, paved roads. They make a lot of noise on the paved roads, but to me that sounds really cool. So right here is the Zeta brake line clamp. Takes off the factory little tin one. This is a nice aluminum one. Also right here, I'm going to start in the Galfer stuff. The Galfer Wave front rotor. This thing works super good. One nice thing about this is not having the holes. So when you're in a lot of mud and stuff, they don't have the holes in it, and the brakes work excellent. I also have the Galfer front brake pads, which they look like extremely good brake pads. I'll find out in the long term about lasting, but I'm sure they're going to hold up really well. Another thing I added was the Galfer front brake lines, the braided stainless front brake lines. Super nice, easy to fit. They fit right just like your factory does, only they're way better brakes. If you had the front brake lines on here and you take them off, you can see the difference when you compare, because when you pull your brake lever with the front ones, you have a lot of squeeze, and you can feel this brake line swelling because it's rubber. Well, these braided stainless steel brake lines, they don't give. They're solid, so you got a lot more feel in your brake. When you pull this brake lever, you're mashing the brake on, and they work super. So that's a big plus add-on. I also have the brake line in the rear by Galfer. Same thing, braided stainless steel. Fits just like the factory. Looks good. And the same way with your back brakes. A lot better feel on the back brakes. So that's a good add-on, a good mod for your CRF250L or any dual sport. It's not just, Galfer makes stuff for all kinds of motorcycles. Okay, on the rear here, I have the rear shock made by Hagen. Man, this was one of the #1 improvements I've done as far as feel of the ride. This shock is set for my weight and my wife's weight. A lot better for the extreme off-road riding than the stock. It's a custom-made shock for me from Hagen. You can see it from the bottom here. But I didn't realize the shock would make that much of a difference. But it's a tremendous difference in the feel with that Hagen rear shock. I love it. Okay, back here on the rear now. Have the Moto's Tractionator DesertHTS. Man, this tire, as I said with the front, it performed off-road amazing. Check out my Tractionator Torture Test series on these tires. These tires hold up extremely well. These side lugs are so awesome when you get in the mud, and I get on the slopes around big mud holes and it's muddy. These things grip like crazy. Instead of sliding off in, they hang in there. They do real good in the ledge rocks. They do real good in the mud. The Oklahoma sand I took them through. Gravel, they're extremely better on gravel roads than any tires I've had on here. I've tried Dunlop's D606s. I've tried Shinko's. I've tried the Michelin T63s. I wouldn't trade them for these Tractionators at all. I will also be doing a long-term review on these tires, so stick in there, keep an eye out for my videos. Right now I've probably got around 1,000 miles on these tires, and they are extremely good. I've hardly even worn them at all. These tires are 100% rubber. They ought to be good for the long haul. Okay, inside the engine here, an extremely good upgrade is your clutch. The factory clutch, boy, when you get off-road, as we did yesterday doing the Moto's Tractionators Torture Test series, this clutch holds up like crazy. It's a CRFs only clutch kit with the EBC springs. I installed it quite a while back. It don't fade at all. This clutch is one of the best upgrades I've ever done. You've got to have it. It's a must if you do off-road. I will be doing a clutch install video. I'm sorry, on the last one, when I put it in, my camera angle got off and I missed this video. So CRFsonly.com, you can actually get about almost every single part I've mentioned. CRFsonly.com has them. Super people to work with. They got good deals. They got everything for your CRF. Ken is a great guy. I love dealing with them. We also have lots more things to do to the bike, other things to put on. But one thing I did do, I had an FMF Q4 exhaust on here, but I did go back to my stock. The stock performs well enough for me on this bike for the riding I do, and without all the noise. Nothing wrong with the FMF Q4. It's just not for me with the noise. That was the only problem. Okay, this is not a review of the bike really, or the stuff, but this here is the bike lift stand that I use from DRC. This thing is a lifesaver. Saved my back, I'm telling you. Lifting the CRF250L on the stand is not an easy chore. This thing, you put it on there, push down the lever, you're up in the air. Got the tires off the ground so you can change the tires, rotate them to clean the chain, clean the tires. I do it every time I wash the bike. I put it on the stand. It's just so handy. So everything that I got off this bike, as I said, you can get at CRFsonly.com. Almost everything here. One thing about them, if they don't got it, they could probably get it. Just ask them, you know, if they're going to start handling it. But they're super people to work with. Good deals. That's where I got my brake lines, you know, Galfer, the brake rotors. They've got a lot of good stuff. The CRFs Only clutch kit is amazing. You guys want to do a clutch kit, and it's a must. If you're going to go off-road on this bike, you need that clutch kit. And he has a super deal. It's like 70-something bucks for that clutch kit. And man, I'm telling you, it's worth its weight in gold when you go off-road. So the CRF250L has been a great bike. 15,000 miles. I actually have no complaints. People talk about other bikes and how they perform. If you watch my Moto's Tractionator torture test series that I'm doing, we went through some of the gnarliest stuff that I've ever been. And them tires and every part on this bike held up like amazing. It done a super job. And I'm really proud of the bike. We have lots more videos on Woodzman Dual Sport Adventure and Survival. A lot of survival videos coming up. I appreciate you all, your likes, your subscribes, your comments. Please share all my videos on your Facebook, Twitter, wherever you can. Just share the videos. That helps me out. Check out CRFsonly.com. Check out Pacific Power Sports for the Moto's tires. And I appreciate you all. Also, don't forget that IMS tank. You'll love that extra gallon of gas. But thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.
Yeah.